Okay, I think you should be able to hear me now. I did put out the post earlier. If you can't hear me, it's showing my side there should be sound coming through. Great, I think it's sorted now. Cheers. So I put this out earlier that I do a live stream today just to talk about what happened during the week. And in the last, I suppose, half an hour, there's been more FUD on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general. So we can look at some of that and just kind of have a look at what's going on. So it was a bit of a crazy week, and for anyone watching this is a live stream. It's happening on the 21st of May at 4:06 GMT plus 1. The reason that someone else doesn't hear me, can hear me but low. Okay, how's that sound now? That should be a bit louder now. Okay, so a tad quiet. I should have checked this before going live, but can't do anything now. Okay, I'll keep going anyway. So yeah, bit more China FUD coming out in the market just to top off the week that we have had. How is that? Free Spirit says no sound, sir. Thanks for the super chat. How are we getting any louder now as the mic comes closer? Okay, so I'm gonna keep going. Right, sorry, a bit thrown off there. As we see, we did get a big drop here, but to be honest, after the week that has happened, I would say if I was now holding some... No, the sound is poor. Okay, right, I'm gonna ignore the sound comments from now on. Okay, so as we've seen during the week, there was some major drops, and yes, when you see these absolutely crazy drops on the ADA price, it is scary to look at it. But if I was holding some micro caps now, then what I would say, I would be scared. If I was holding micro cap coins right now, then I would not be as confident of where they're going to go long term. For me, look, obviously I don't like to see this type of thing in the market. When I put the video out yesterday talking about that we had got a nice bounce back, we were somewhere in around here yesterday, and I did say I didn't think, or I wasn't sure if we were fully done with the dump yet. Even this dip right here, as generally when China comes out with some FUD like they are now, what they have come out with is they are reiterating call for a crackdown on Bitcoin mining and trading, and looking to just get people to, I suppose, declare more of what they are doing. So again, there probably will be some other FUD on this later today, which may tank the market even more. This dip here, as you can see, currently for the ADA price, we've bounced off $1.49. It is interesting to see how these lines do hold up lots of the time as well, but we may go further than that later today. If something else comes out, we may go further down. As always, would I potentially sell here now to try and buy back on the dip that may come later? Not a chance would I do it, because there is sound after. Okay, there's no way I would risk selling off my ADA right now to try and get lower. It's just not worth the risk. If you are looking to get into the market, then as always, DCA is always a good way to get in. Buy in some at whatever the market price is that you're comfortable at. Put in 50% or 20, 30, whatever percent you want to put in at the level here, and then set your orders lower in the market. So if we do, when we do get the dips that come down further, then that's when the rest of the orders will all hit, and it will DCA down your order like that. And look, there is calls now for the bear market is in, and we are in a bear market. I'm still not convinced that we are out of this bull market yet. As you can see, if you do look at this was the huge dip. See that you guys can see it. This was the huge dip during the week on Wednesday for Bitcoin. Absolutely crazy. Nobody could have been expecting something like that. I talked in yesterday's video about some of the speculation around what caused this. There is the Wyckoff method. For anyone who hasn't seen that video yet, I showed a bit of it in mine yesterday. You should look it up and see. The guy put it out in April talking about the Wyckoff method, which is about how institutions and how big holders, they basically clear the retailers out of, the retail traders out of a market, scare them out of it. And it's actually kind of scary to see how closely aligned the Bitcoin price has been over the last few months with that. with the highs and then the big dip like this before getting a bounce up. So when we got this, we got the higher low here. We had a higher low here, but this current dip on the FUD has not held this higher low. So that's why I think potentially this may go a little bit more down. It depends on what else comes out, because generally when there is FUD like this, you will see that lots of institutions, lots of people will jump on stuff like this to try and push the prices down lower. And you will even have big players in the market that will look to push the prices down lower so that they can accumulate on lower prices for Bitcoin. To me, I'm not selling. I'm going to hold on. Some people will think that's stupid, but for me, this long term is only going one way, and I am willing to hold on and wait for it to come. I still think that suppose I need to put the disclaimers and all that kind of stuff in, non-financial advice and everything. I still think that we hit new all-time highs for Bitcoin and definitely for Cardano this year. So currently, after this big dip yesterday, we had nearly recovered 100% on the ADA price, going all the way up to $1.95. Again, this is the advantage of having coins that have good fundamentals, coins that are real. As I said in the beginning, for anyone who's tuning in later, if I held micro cap coins right now, I would probably be a little bit shaky on holding them. But when I'm holding coins like ADA or holding Bitcoin, then I am very confident in where we will go in the future. We may see some lows, we may see some really bad days along that journey, but as always, there is no straight green candles to the top. You are going to have pullbacks along the way. If we do go into a bear market right now, then are you happy to hold what you have? Personally, I would have liked to have got more into a stable coin, which is my own plan, that when we do go higher with Bitcoin, up closer to the 100k, which I think is inevitable at some stage, that's when I would be cashing out some into stable coins to earn interest. But right now, I don't think it's a bear market yet. This thing needs to play out. It needs to play out for the next few days, the next week or so, and then we'll reassess next week and see where things settle then. After huge drops like this, you cannot make decisions too quickly. You need to wait and see how the market settles, and for me, there are still enough of people interested in this to help push it back to the upside. Where are we on comments? I'm going to get into some of China bans Bitcoin 5 times a year. Yes, it does. China has banned Bitcoin so many times at this stage. India bans Bitcoin every so often as well. We've seen stuff with Turkey earlier in the year as well. They were banning it, then they weren't banning it, and there's all sorts of crazy stuff out there. FUD from China too. Yeah, it's just, there will always be these types of stories. This wasn't kind of what I planned this video to be about when I set up the live stream earlier, but the market kind of dictated that we had to spend a little bit of time on this. Yeah, pure manipulation, as Dave says in the comment there. It's an easy market to shake up. There's a lot of people in the market that are just scared, and as he says there, it is an easy market to manipulate. When you see the likes of Elon Musk being able to manipulate the market with one tweet, when there's one little bit of FUD out there, then the markets can dump. And what you don't see on the surface there, and what I've kind of seen over the last few years, is that lots of the big whales will jump on the FUD that is out there. When you see lots of big whales selling their Bitcoin or moving it to exchanges, they're not doing that because they're panicking all of a sudden that Bitcoin is going to dump, or crypto or whatever is going to dump. What they're doing is taking advantage of the fear that is going to be in the market. So if they even just move some of their coins around a little bit, it puts extra fear in the market, it gets publicized across social media, and then they can go off and they can short the market on other exchanges as well. There are guys out there that are, I would say, constantly doing this and making an absolute fortune on this, not even selling their Bitcoin. Just moving it around is going to stir up the market to get it scared, and then they can short the market, which means that they earn on the way down. Even some will sell and buy on the bottom when they close their shorts. So what is going on in the comments? Not worried about Cardano at all. Also, the dip excites me as I get to possibly... yeah, for people who still have fiat, then it is a great time to get in on these types of prices. If people were able to get in, I know this happened extremely quickly yesterday, but anyone who was able to get in at these types of prices, I think is an absolute bargain in the long term. Short term, I seen a comment there asking about short term. Short term, I definitely wouldn't be leverage trading anything right now. Yes, there is insane gains to be made, but your account can get wiped out in a second. So if you were in this right here and you were in a long trade at this stage here, there's a very good chance that no matter what you were doing, your whole account would get liquidated. So for me, I am watching it. If we can back down to, if we look at the ADA BTC chart, you see how strongly the ADA pair has held. So I know we got this flash wick, but we basically got this across all altcoins over the last, or on Wednesday, but the recovery has been very, very strong. Small bit of pullback over the last 24 hours, but right now looking fairly strong. If we look in the hourly, that's the 4 hour. Look in the hourly, you can see that even when the FUD came in there in the last hour or so, it didn't really affect the ADA BTC pair. Small bit of a pullback, but already starting to push back to the upside, looking to hold out on this 4,200 sats level. Now I do have some Bitcoin and I have set some buy orders. Where did I set them? Trying to see on my other screen here where I set them for ADA. No open orders. I'll look it up after, but I set my orders. I know I set them down around 3,400, 3,300 sats, just in case we get some of these flash wicks again. If we got a flash wick down to here, I will be extremely happy to pick up more ADA at that stage. And look, if it keeps going up, then I'm also happy for the bag that I already have. Let's bring up the chat again. Can't wait to see. Max says his sister is a whale. I hope you're talking about the cryptocurrency sense for that, Max. I can wait to see Elon Musk's Twitter. Hey guys, I sold my Bitcoin. Yeah, it's like that again. It's crazy that someone can have such an influence on the market. It will be interesting to see if he puts anything out over the next while. We'll check it up now in a second. We'll be staking in the pool later, waiting for the spot order to go through. I really appreciate that. And anyone else who has picked up cheap ADA in the last few days, then I really do appreciate you guys staking within my pool. Just on that, actually, I did mean to cover it. I posted over on Twitter this morning. I posted the latest updates. So this was the latest results from staking, just to see. Yeah, I think you can see that. So pool 1 had a really good epoch, 45 blocks, 125% luck, and the rewards for that will be paid out at the end of epoch 267, which is the current one. And again, should be over a 6% return. The rewards were paid out for the last epoch as well, which was over 6%. And then on pool 2 got 19 blocks, a huge 160% epoch for that one, or 160% luck, which should give us over 8% for that particular epoch. Now again, there had been some below average ones. You can see the payout for that was 3.8 for the last epoch. So in general, these things balance out. And again, both pools are looking at over 100% for the upcoming epoch. So anyone who needs a pool, there's my shill for the day. That's what really supports this channel and what will be supporting the website that I have been built at the minute to start listing off all of the projects building on Cardano. So that is really starting to take shape, and hopefully over the next week or 2 weeks at most, we should at least have version 1 of that out, and then it will be a lot easier to do research on the projects that are building on Cardano. So picked up 1,000 ADA when it hit $1 on Monday. Very nice buy from Cosmos Gaming. Sunday swap. Actually, I think I seen that they tagged me in something. I get so many tags on Twitter and on everything anymore. I do sometimes forget to go back to stuff. So again, I will get back to them after this. And if any of you guys ever tag me on social media and something, or message me in the Telegram groups or that, then If I don't reply, it's not that I'm doing it on purpose. Just tag me again. I may have just missed it. Our Telegram chat group is probably the best way to get in contact and get quicker answers, because there's a lot of people in the group there that can help even if I'm not on board myself or if I'm not online. Will I be getting into the Sunday ISO? For now, I'm staying away from Sunday Swap. I did put out on Twitter, there was people talking about Big Pay, having them on the interview and then backstabbing them after it. To me, I seen the interview that Big Pay done with Sunday Swap and I thought it was very good. And I suppose it's our responsibility, if we're going to bring projects on, it's our responsibility to not just show what are the good things, to show what are the risks as well. And some of the risks that are around Sunday Swap, and I completely agree with them, is they need to come out about their tokenomics. So what are their funding goals? If they are collecting all of the rewards from ADA or from the epochs, if they set fees to 100%, you are giving up all of your rewards, they will pick up 45 to 50,000 ADA every 5 days. So that's an incredible amount of ADA to be picking up every 5 days. They need to set out what are the goals, when are they going to stop taking 100% rewards, what are their targets for actually setting it back to the standard fees that should be on a pool. For me, I'm betting on the ADA price going up a lot over the next few weeks and months with Sunday Swap. As far as I know, it won't be tradable until the DEX is live, but I do need to speak to them and do a bit more research in it. Okay, so what else do I have? That was on them. I think I've seen some mention of YaySwap as well. Look, at this stage, YaySwap have not responded to any of the messages I said. They said last week, give them a week, and then they would come on the channel, which I thought would be to reveal their team, but they aren't responding. So for me, I put them very borderline as a scam right now. If they don't come out, show their team, show something very, very quickly. Where am I now? Will you be accumulating? Yeah, so Stephen, on accumulating USDC on Celsius, that is one of my plans for when the market goes and sets new all-time highs. I will be putting some into stable coins at that stage, and currently USDC would probably be the stable coin of choice, and Celsius would be one of the options. So they're the only centralized entity that I've used so far for staking on. And again, I have a small amount on Celsius for probably 6, maybe 9 months now. I have a small bit of Bitcoin on there, and I will be putting more on when I get it into stable coins. But what I will do is I will be picking maybe 4 or 5 different platforms, some decentralized, some centralized, and I'll be putting some of the funds on each of them. So look, if something crazy happens to one of them, they get hacked and everything goes, then at least I am not liable to lose all of my funds. So it just splits the risk. So again, you can do this with any amount. So whatever amount you have, pick multiple different platforms and put it onto all of them. No matter how much you trust one entity, never put all of it into one exchange or into one platform, because you don't know what's going to happen. So again, I will have more on that as well fairly soon. Where am I? I hope they announced testnet. Yeah, testnet is coming later this month, V3. So there was a video put out by Tim. It was a 10 or 11 minute video put out to say that, just give a bit of an update how the private testnet has been going, and the public one should be out by the end of the month. So next week we do have the Cardano 360, the latest one, which is the May one. So after next Thursday, I would expect to probably have the testnet, or at least have the date for within the next few days, because it is meant to go out by the end of sorry, I got distracted by something there. By the end of May. Okay, so what have I missed? So Brock F with the $1 super chat. I really do appreciate that. Your message was retracted though, so I can't see it. Am I able to make ADA shirts? Licensing issues? No licensing. Well, no one's complained to me yet after making these for myself. I think that it is all open source. You can use it. I've incorporated the ADA symbol into my new website for projects that are building on Cardano. So if it has to be changed later, I can always change it, but I think it's all good. Where am I? How can I put Cardano in stake? If you take a look through, if you go over to my blog, cardanowithpaul.com, there's a lot of different information over there on how you can stake. And there's lots of videos. I have one playlist on the site as well, Cardano Basics and Cardano Staking. So again, there's videos there to show you how to do it. Where do ADA voting rewards? Voting rewards should be just paid into your wallet. They should just come into your normal wallet as standard, but I think they are basically nothing. There was about one ADA was the reward the last time, I think. Why do I prefer to have stable coins instead of cash? For me, I plan to be in crypto for the long haul. I don't plan to come out of it. And with holding stable coins, you can then use some of the methods that are out there to earn interest, which is a lot better than any bank is going to offer you. So with the likes of Celsius, you can earn 8 to 10% on stable coins. And there's lots of other options out there as well. I think actually Celsius could be around 10%. Some other platforms are 8%, some are above it. So that's why I would go with stable coins. I reckon testnet will affect the price. I think what is built on testnet can affect the price. So if people are actually, once we have testnet out, you will see lots of videos going out there on what people are actually building on the testnet. And hopefully after a week or two of testnet being out, I'll be able to get some developers on here that are building on it and be able to show you guys what can actually be done and get them to, I suppose, highlight what's different to building on Cardano. What are the advantages of what they're seeing with the smart contracts there compared to some of the other platforms as well. ADA supply shock coming regardless of Bitcoin price. Yeah, like when you start looking at the stats for Cardano throughout this, the amount of ADA being staked, it hasn't really dropped that much at all. It has been very, very solid throughout all of the drops this week. Opinion on Jiro wallet. I haven't looked at Jiro wallet yet. I haven't looked at it in depth. I have heard lots of people really like it, but again, I haven't personally done the research into it yet. From what I've heard, it sounds really good. Taxes going up in Ireland again. Worst stake pool ever. Oh, Ireland is the thought you meant mine was the worst stake pool there, Dave. So yeah, Irish taxes, I didn't see that about more going up, but I well believe that they probably are. What else have we got? ADA price reach potential to go around $10 by the end of the summer. I think we need to see how the next few days plays out on how the price is going to go. I think $10 is still a bit high even for this current cycle. I am looking at getting up to that $3 to maybe $4 in the run up to Alonso, which would bring us up to close to the end of the summer, then a bit of a pullback, and then looking, if we're still well within the bull market, I think a $6-7 ADA is possible then when projects start launching on Cardano. Then we just wait and see, because once you get to them types of levels, you don't know what is going to happen. If things are going really well, it can go higher, but right now I wouldn't look any higher than them types of levels. Super chat from Sini. Is this the most fear you experienced in a dip? It's the most amount of unrealized money that I've lost, we'll say. The only other time that I ever got the slightest bit of a worry on crypto was March last year. I remember waking up in the middle of the night. Don't check my phone in the middle of the night anymore, probably because of that. Check the price and seeing Bitcoin dropping below $4,000, and it was a bit of a worry at that stage. At this stage, I'm kind of like, yeah, when I seen it, it wasn't great to see on Wednesday, but definitely wasn't near the fear that there was last year. So you kind of get used to these things when you're in crypto. You see the markets are just crazy volatile. But the fact that ADA makes up a fairly decent percentage of my portfolio, that really has stood well this week. Obviously we are down when you look at $1.60 right now, but if you scroll out here, so let's go on to the daily, and we look at right now at $1.60. We were at this price, what's that, the 13th of May? That's 8 days ago. We were in around this price. The first time that we hit $1.60 was the 6th of May. So worst case scenario, we are set back by 2 weeks in terms of the price on ADA. If you look across the board at a lot of other coins, they are back a lot further than 2 weeks when you look at the price points that they're at now. Brock F, ADA shirt in chat if you want to buy a Paulie ADA shirt. I still haven't set up a shop to do that. I really need to get on that as well. I really appreciate the super chat as well, Brock F and Cini. So what else? If I had $1,000 right now, would I spend it on ADA? If I had $1,000 now and I had no ADA, what I will be doing is DCA into this. So as I said earlier on, there is definitely potential. We went a bit closer than a daily, went on the 4 hour. There definitely is potential to come back down and test these types of regions if there's more FUD comes out. We're susceptible to whatever happens on Bitcoin here. Whatever happens here is going to drag the rest of the market down as well. So if I had the 1,000, I would be non-financial advice and all that. If it was me doing it, I'd be buying somewhere around here with part of that, 40-50%, and then setting maybe 2 other orders lower down with $200-300 each lower down. So if the market drops, then you get into them too. So what have I missed here? So Ormax says ladder in. Yep, that's definitely the way. And for me, DCA into a market and DCA out of a market. That means that when you're going in, if the market keeps dropping, then you lower your price, and DCA out on the top. So whatever you think the top price is going to be for the project as well, DCA out before that. So start to put in your orders a bit below where you think the top will be, take part out at that stage, and then keep doing that the whole way up to where you think the top is going to be, and even beyond that. That means that just in case it doesn't hit what you think the top is going to be, you still have taken some out of the market. Can I say the name of the market manipulation video again? What was it called? If you go to the last video on my channel, the video from yesterday, you'll see I show the video in that, and I even put a link to it in the description of that video as well. So if you just go to yesterday's video, and you'll see in the description there's a video. The WMT price, they are WMT, I think they're 20 cent is going to be the ICO price, or IDO or IEO. I'm not even sure which one. Basically all them things are the same. ICO, IDO, IEO, they all mean the same thing. It's just buying into the coin. I will have Mickey on again closer to the sale. As they're a public company, they have to be careful what they say right now. They are going into a market that has a lot of big guns in the market. So anyone who didn't see it, I done the interview during the week, and that really convinced me that WMT is a project I want to get involved in. Will there be an exit strategy calculator? Can't remember, but think you mentioned it. Yeah, I was working on that earlier today actually. I don't have it up here now, but yeah, there is going to be a calculator. Let's see, I'm not sure where it is now, but basically there's going to be 2 types of calculators. So one is to help you decide what your goal is. So everyone needs to decide what your goal in the markets are. I'm just trying to see, can I get it on the other screen here? You need to decide what is the amount of money that you want to take out of the market. So have you got a goal? Is it to pay off a mortgage? Is it to pay off loans? Is it to buy something at home or something for your family or that? What is that sum of money that you need to have? And then you can do it in 2 ways. So you can decide what is the percentage of your ADA or your crypto that you're willing to sell to get that out. And then the other option is to start DCAing out. So when ADA hits $4, you sell 10%. When it hits $5, you sell another 10%. When it hits $6, you sell another 10%, and just work it out what is the best option for you. So one calculator that I have built so far is this one. So what you would do is you put in the amount of ADA that you hold. So 10,000 is the default, but you can change it. What's your magic number? So what do you need to take out of the markets to reach the goals that you want? The percentage of your ADA that you're willing to sell then. So say you only want to sell 30% of your ADA, you need a $6.67 ADA to get 20k out of the market by selling 30%. Then if you look, you had 70% left. If you leave that staking, now again, long term, we don't know what the percentage is going to be. So I've left this that you can change it. So you can be more conservative, say 4%. Then you would still be making every month 444 on staking. So that's one calculator. And again, these numbers are going to be so different for everyone. This will just help people get an idea of what works for them, so you can change all of the different parameters. And then the other one will be that about the 10% of 10% at whatever number it is. It could be 15, it could be 20% you want to sell at each price increment. So thoughts on Cody? Cody has a lot of potential. I am surprised they went on a big run earlier in the year, then kind of took a lot of steps backwards, and they've been a bit quiet. So I would expect them to make a run. I do hold a small bit, but not really that much yet. I'm still waiting to see what they're going to do. Joss says, right now my VEET position is far lower than ADA after the dip. Yeah, a lot of coins are like that. If we look at CoinGecko here, damn, that's a lot of red. You can see actually in the last hour things are looking slightly better. But if we look over the last 7 days, you can see Cardano down 18%. That is significant. But you look at Binance Coin, took a huge hit, 40%, 33% from Ethereum, Bitcoin 24%, 23 on XRP, Doge 26, 38 on Polkadot. So all in all, Cardano has held very, very strong throughout this. I know we had the peak when you look at this later in the week, and when it's hitting around that time that we went up to 240, these percentages are going to look a bit worse. But overall, we have held fairly solid. So what else have I got in the chat? And we might... So... what was the last one? Doubtful if anything the upcoming market. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up where I was. Until leverage trading are outlawed, manipulation will be rampant. Leverage trading will never be outlawed. There will always be some form of it out there. D-Bell says he's spending ridiculous amounts of money on Cardano, and you know where to stake it when you have it. Yeah, the Wyckoff distribution is that. Wyckoff FUD yawn. Yeah, look, I'm not saying that is definitely the reason that we came down. There was also a 4chan thread about the manipulation and how it was being organized. I talked about all that in the video yesterday. Lots of different reasons, but the reality is we're never going to know fully what it was. Lots of these things kind of play out together, and leverage trading definitely has a part of that. Stop losses in the market play a part in it as well. So when things just start tanking down, should I dump TRX at a loss? I honestly have no idea what's going on with Tron anymore. I haven't followed it in a long time now, so I don't know what they're going to have coming up. I believe ADA long term is a very good hedge, but if you believe in Tron or TRX, then holding some of it maybe and some in ADA. Ergo, kick myself that I didn't get involved in Ergo a lot earlier. They're doing a lot of good things. I was watching it at $3, waiting for it to pull back to $2 so I could get in. I didn't DCA like I say is a great strategy. I didn't do it on that one, and I kicked myself ever since. It is a project I will own at some stage, but I currently don't have any just yet. Yeah, that's a lot of red across the market. ADA next buying price. It depends on your outlook. Short term, there's no saying we won't revisit $1 or that we won't revisit down around these $33s. The way that this is looking, it's probably going to happen. So you may get some buys down around here, but as always, just DCA, set your orders, set multiple orders, and if some of them trigger, then great. placed a buy order at 80 euro cents. I can't think right now what that is in dollars. Even though I'm in Ireland and my currency is euro, I still think of all crypto in dollars just because that's what we see every day. So let me see, what do we have? We have over 500 people here, which is great. 140 likes. If you guys can hit the like button or subscribe if you haven't, I really do appreciate that. That helps put this out there and lets YouTube know that people do like this kind of content. The channel is actually approaching 50,000 subscribers fairly soon, which is absolutely crazy. I will organize some sort of a giveaway. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do yet, but I will put out something. I'm thinking maybe tie it in line with the stake in the stake pools and give away ADA. And I have a few different, I suppose, native tokens that people have sent me and some NFTs that I bought just testing out the market. I might give away them kind of things as well. So likes going up now to 170. What else had I? This is an interesting stat to keep an eye on, and this is going to be a huge milestone for Cardano. So you can see here the total amount of accounts. So this is the total number of ADA wallets. You can see currently it is at 987,000, nearly 988,000 accounts created on Cardano. So over the weekend, we probably will hit 1 million ADA wallets. Now that's not 1 million staked. You can see currently there are 560,000, nearly 561,000 of them wallets are staked. So that is a huge number of the wallets are actually staked. Look, there could be some of these wallets that are forgotten about. They're empty or not empty. There's a small amount of ADA in them and they're just not used. But when you look at that percentage, that is a huge percentage of the ADA wallets are actually staked and or delegated, whatever way. Some people get confused on the two terms. Staked and delegated basically means the same with regard to what your ADA is doing. When you delegate your wallet, your ADA is then staked. So yeah, Bitcoin moving down a little bit more. Let's see, where are we on the hourly? Yeah, not looking great. Definitely looks like there could be some more downside there. As I say, I'm staying out of the markets. I'm just holding what I have. Not willing to sell here for the potential bit of a gain down here. Some people, that strategy will work very, very well. But for me, I'm just not taking on that stress. So what have I got in the chat? Here goes 37k. I want to put 500 in. I would DCA, Michael. As you see, the market looks very weak at the minute, so we could see some lower levels. Could possibly go as low as 25k. I've seen rumors today going around about more organized groups trying to pull it to 25. It's possible. Is Cardano the future? It's definitely, in my mind, a big part of the future. Always have to stay with it and keep an eye on it. Alex says that is the price dumping, so I checked and I was streaming. Yeah, it's not my fault this time. It's actually China's fault this time, Alex. Yeah, maybe I'll do the shirt giveaway as well. I'll put in a few shirts into that too, Brock. The calculator I showed there isn't live on the site for the public yet. I need to just make some tweaks on it and then I'll be putting out the video as well. I just need to make sure it all works and lines up properly. So the other calculators are all there already. You can check them out on the site, the normal staking ones. So look, are there any other questions? I'm going to wrap it up fairly quickly now. As you see, currently not looking too bullish on the charts, breaking down below this trend line that I had on it. So this was basically since the very top. This is what we had. Briefly broke out of it yesterday, but been just kind of on the line the last few hours, last 24 hours, and the big break below it on the China FUD now. So for now, I would say if you are here long term, hodl, stake. Don't get too worried about these types of moves. Look, there's no 100% guarantee. For me, what I'm personally doing is holding and waiting to see how this all plays out over the next few days before what I would see as getting a springboard up to set new all-time highs before this year is over for Bitcoin. And what have we got for the last few comments? Solana, yeah, Solana definitely will be a rival. I am not one of these maximalists that think any one coin is going to rule them all. There is no one smart contract coin going to rule them all. There's no one DEX is going to rule them all. It is going to be, there's going to be a bit of everything. I think that Ethereum is definitely going to lose market share. They may keep the same amount of volume that they currently have. If they can get ETH2 up, then they will be able to sustain that type of volume. But I see this sector is just going to get so much bigger over the next few years. Within everyday life, we're going to see so much more going on to blockchain smart contracts. So I think that as the sector grows, each individual chain will get their own share of that. ADA, I think, will play a very big part in that. I haven't looked too deep into Solana. I started picking up a small bit of it a few weeks ago. The bag is still a bit small. The market took off in the last week or two before I could get any more, but I will be watching it and maybe picking up more if it dips, because it does look to be a lot building on the ecosystem. So that's something to look at, is when you're looking at a coin, if you're looking at something for the long term, look at what they're doing. Are they doing something a bit different, or do they have a lot of people building on the chain? For Ethereum, the huge success that they've seen was the developer community that they have there. They just flooded the market at first. From everything I've seen with Cardano, there are a lot of companies looking to start building on Cardano. Again, we will only see that when smart contracts come out, but that is something that could really spike the price when we start seeing the volume of people that are willing to build. So, where am I? I talked about Sunday Swap a while ago. For now, I still have questions hanging over them. How much lower will ADA go down? No idea. I'm not really that bothered about how low it goes down. We talked about this a few times below, but or above in the chat. I am not too bothered about it. We could easily test 133. We could easily get another flash crash to $1, but for me, I'm not worried about them. HBAR, haven't looked at HBAR since back in their ICO days. I looked at them then, but I haven't looked at them since. Dave says 900 companies waiting in the wings. Yeah, I watched a good video today actually on the Cardano Foundation channel. If you check that out, their latest video with Ava over there, they go through an AMA talking about some of what's going on with the foundation, and there sounds like there really is a lot of good things in the pipeline. So look, I am going to call it up there. If you haven't hit like, please do so. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Generally what this is all about Cardano. Today was just an AMA to see what the panic was like, but as usual, the Cardano ADA community are holding fairly strong, and I think we will weather this storm fairly good. Thanks for watching, guys. I do appreciate it, and I will talk to you all soon.